All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about something that's basically the invisible engine powering our entire global economy: supply chain software. We're going to break down this super complex world and see exactly how it brings some serious order to what can be total chaos. So, picture this. You're online, you find that perfect thing, you click buy, and a few days later, poof, it shows up at your door. Magic, right? But what actually happens in between? That one little click sets off this huge, incredibly complex journey with warehouses, ships, trucks, and dozens of people. But here's the thing. For the businesses actually managing that journey, it often feels like a total black box. Without the right tools, they're just stumbling through a maze of inventory and trying to coordinate with suppliers. A lot of the time, they're just guessing. And that guesswork, it can lead to some really big problems. And this is the daily grind, right? You've got teams constantly jumping between different programs, trying to piece together a puzzle when they can't even see the full picture. There are no real-time updates, so a tiny delay over here can, boom, snowball into a massive disruption over there. This guesswork creates costly errors, and because nobody's connected, everyone's working from different information. I mean, it is literally a recipe for chaos. So yeah, this whole thing is like a giant high-stakes puzzle. Every single piece, from getting the raw materials all the way to that final delivery, it all has to fit together perfectly. Which, of course, leads to the million-dollar question for so many companies out there. How do you take all of these disconnected, constantly moving parts and get them to work together like a well-oiled machine? How do you ditch the guesswork and get some actual certainty? Well, the answer, and kind of the hero of our story today, is specialized software. It is the missing piece that connects the entire puzzle. Okay, so what is this software, really? At its heart, it's all about building one single digital system to manage every single step. We're talking sourcing, keeping track of inventory, logistics, real-time tracking, all the reporting, the whole shebang. Here's a great way to think about it. If the supply chain is a massive orchestra with hundreds of different instruments, the suppliers, the warehouses, the delivery trucks, then the software is the conductor. It's got the master plan, it sees every musician, and it makes sure every single one of them plays their part at exactly the right time, all in perfect harmony. All right, so we get what it is, but how does the software actually work? Let's get into the nuts and bolts. Building this kind of software is a whole journey. It all starts with some really deep discovery, digging in and analyzing a company's specific workflows and all their pain points. Then the architects design a system that can scale up with an interface that's actually easy to use. After that comes the real heavy lifting, building it and testing it like crazy. Finally, it gets deployed with ongoing support to make sure it keeps running smoothly as the business grows. Okay, so the first superpower this software gives you is total visibility. I mean, just imagine being able to see every single order and shipment in real time, all on one screen. Every team, from purchasing to the warehouse, is looking at the exact same info. What that means is you can spot a potential problem way earlier and deal with it before it becomes a disaster. Next up, core capability number 2, smart automation. Think about all those repetitive manual tasks, like entering data or sending out status updates, and just letting the software handle it. This not only slashes the chance of human error, but it also speeds up daily operations, and that frees up your team to focus on the stuff that actually matters. And all of that leads us to the third big one: much better risk control. The software uses all that data to spot potential disruptions early on. This helps businesses manage risks from their suppliers and just make sure the whole operation keeps on running without a hitch. It's a complete shift from being reactive to being proactive. So you've got visibility, you've got automation, and you have risk control. When a business pulls all of that together, wow, the transformation is just profound. Let's look at the actual impact. This right here, this before and after says it all, doesn't it? You go from a world of guesswork and delays to making decisions based on real, live data. All those disconnected systems become one central hub. Manual work that was full of errors gets replaced by smart, reliable automation. And that constant high risk of disruption, it's transformed into proactive risk control. It's a fundamental change. And yeah, all of this translates directly to the bottom line. You're optimizing costs because you're cutting down on waste and operational overhead. Those live dashboards and reports mean you're making smarter decisions faster. And because the software is usually built on the cloud, it gives you an architecture that can actually grow right alongside the business, no matter where it expands. But
Here's the key thing. This isn't some one-size-fits-all solution. The real magic is how it gets tailored to solve the unique challenges that you find in all these different industries.
So, for example, a retail company might be obsessed with inventory accuracy, but a healthcare organization needs absolutely critical traceability for medical supplies. Manufacturers use it to streamline their production, while logistics companies get that live tracking and route optimization they need. Even for e-commerce shops and small businesses, it's a game changer for simplifying orders and managing costs. It really adapts. This quote really sums up the whole mission behind this stuff. It's not about building cool tech just for the sake of it. It's about creating reliable tools that solve real-world problems, giving businesses more control, cutting down their risks, and paving the way for real, sustainable growth. And that really leaves us with one final big thought. In a world where all of us demand speed and accuracy, a business that's still relying on guesswork isn't just being inefficient, it's taking on a massive liability. So the real question isn't if a business needs this kind of control anymore, it's how fast they can get there.